What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and it is time for racing here in San Diego for the Stadium Series. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to check out my Patreon for early access and exclusive content, link on screen and in the description below. Earthshaker and Angel Garcia getting the high jump win here in San Diego, and it is looking good for him right now. With him moving up in the leaderboards, at least for the event champion. He's at 15 points currently in 4th place, so plenty of opportunities to move up as there's racing skills and freestyle left. This was the leaderboards after high jump, and look at that, we have a new leader in Dragon and Flames Plays. Bakugan moving down to 2nd, and Dalmatian slowly creeping up. He's now in 3rd. So, things are getting very interesting. This is the racing bracket for the racing event here today. Don't forget to leave a comment on who you think will win racing here in San Diego. Last time we were here in Season 1, it was Monster with Dalmatian and April Summers who took her 3rd racing win of the season. So, will Umboji fill those shoes? We're going to have to wait and see. Megalodon and Soldier Fortune will be the first race of round 1, and they're lined up and ready to go, waiting for green. And they're off. Megalodon rocking that amazing overcast paint scheme. Soldier Fortune, trouble off the berm. He's bicycling. Going into the turn, though, he was able to control it. Hopefully, it doesn't affect him too bad. But Megalodon still managing to stay focused and control. Soldier Fortune going over the berm, at least on top of the berm. So this may be it. That may have cost him an unfortunate mistake early on, right as the race was starting. Megalodon moving on to round 2. Soldier Fortune, a very unfortunate outcome for him. As you can see right here, as soon as he went over the berm, he was just kind of stuck in a wheelie angle that sent him into a bicycle, and he was just all over the place. None of that area really will give you a penalty, but it did slow him down regardless, so very unfortunate for Soldier Fortune. But Megalodon moving on to round 2. Here comes Max D and Alien Invasion. For the next race, there's the green light. Max D shooting those sparks out from the rear end of the truck. Still showing off that he is the 3-time World Finals champion. He is proud of that title, and he may have came off a little too awkwardly. He's off the track, and that's going to be a penalty for sure because he did not cross the that finish line there in the middle. So he's out of bounds. That's going to be a penalty. It's going to be an easy race for Alien Invasion if Cecily 96 to finish cleanly, and she did. Max D, though, a vicious crash after crossing the finish line, so very unfortunate outcome for Max D. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay. This is where he messed up right here. He came off at an angle and did not cross where he was supposed to, barreling over back on all fours, so he was able to finish the race, although the penalty was already said and done, and this was the awkward bounce off the finish line that sent him flipping at least twice, more or less, after finishing the race. So, unfortunate for Max D. Hopefully everything's good. Hopefully it's just cosmetic damage and we can move on later on in skills and stuff where he can still compete. But next race of round 1 is going to be Blue Thunder and Gas Monkey Garage. Both trucks looking to get a racing win this season. They haven't really made it that far, so hopefully they can change the outcome here in San Diego, and this will be their stop. So far, pretty even going around the first lap. Nice clean landing for the both of them. Now turning on the berm. Nice clean turn. This last turn here is going to be the decision maker, and it looks like, I don't know who has the edge right now. I think Gas Monkey, and Gas Monkey will get the win. Blue Thunder, an awkward bounce that sent him barreling over. And able to save it, luckily for Action Phil, so nice job for Action Phil. But right here was an awkward landing, just barely made it across the finish line, so he wouldn't have gotten a penalty had he been the winner. But it sent him over on his lid. Luckily he was able to save it, but it's said and done. Hopefully he has a better outing in skills. We'll move on to the last race of round 1, which is going to be Earthshaker versus Dragon. Dragon was the racing winner back in Detroit, so he's looking to go back-to-back. Let's see what's going to happen. So far, we've had a crazy round 1 here in San Diego with trucks flipping all over the place and having little mistakes. So let's see if this race here will have less mistakes and less carnage. Only one way to find out, though. Looks like Earthshaker right now has a slight lead. Kind of an awkward bounce coming off, and he's trying to control it. He's on 2 wheels over the berm. He's able to control it, but Dragon took that and took advantage of it, and he's ahead. As long as he can finish cleanly, he is the winner, shooting those flames at the peak of his jump, and he is the winner. And both of them going over. Dragon able to save it. Earthshaker, a violent crash. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of Earthshaker. Just an awkward bounce, sending him sideways, flipping, hitting that jump there that sent him into another somersault backwards. and back on all fours. So the carnage continues in round 1. Let's move on to round 2. This is the racing bracket as of now, and we'll see if round 2 is any crazier or any less crazy than round 1. Let's go ahead and get started with the first race, that being your fastest qualifier, Monster Dalmatian and Omboji, and Megalodon, who was the fastest qualifier last time in Detroit. Both of these trucks looking for their first racing win of the season. Omboji having somewhat of, I guess, a little bit of luck on his side if you look at it that way, because last time we were here, again, in Season 1, when April Summers was behind the wheel of Dalmatian, she got her 3rd racing win of the season here because it was the last stop. And she was also, no, she wasn't the fastest qualifier. She was the slowest qualifier that time around. So, who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. They're coming to the final turn. Monster Dalmatian has the slight lead over Megalodon, and he's going to take it to the finish line and finish the race as he's barreling over. So, not as much carnage as before, but still some craziness going on. Moving on to the next race of round 2. These trucks meet again. The Season 1 champion of the Arena Series, Alien Invasion, and the Season 2 champion of the Arena Series, Crush Station, battling it out, duking it out here in racing yet again. They were the first race in Detroit last time around, where Crush Station came out on top after Alien Invasion had a mistake, and now it's Crush Station making the mistake, coming out awkwardly, not going to the finish line. Alien Invasion on 2 wheels, back on all 4s, but the penalty is going to be added to Crush Station, so as long as Alien Invasion can avoid a penalty, she will be the winner, and looks like she will finish the race cleanly, and she will be moving on as she's trying to save the truck. Crush Station going into that other jump over there. So they are now 1-1 when racing against each other this season. So I'm hoping, really, if they're going to race again, I'd love to see it. Let's go ahead and move on to the 3rd race of round 2. Gas Monkey Garage versus Bakugan Dragonoid. Bakugan Dragonoid was the winner back in Arlington. Let's see if he can get a 2nd racing win this season. Gas Monkey, though, still, he's struggling. He started off kind of cold, but maybe San Diego is going to be where he heats up. So far, they're looking pretty even. Bakugan with an awkward jump. He's doing a wheelie. He's doing a bicycle on the berm, staying in control, but the damage is done. Gas Monkey just needs to finish cleanly. Bakugan right behind him, but not going to be enough. Gas Monkey Garage moving on to the semifinal round. Unfortunate for Bakugan. Let's take a look at a replay here. An awkward jump, and he was in a wheelie this entire time, turning that rear steer, sending him into a bicycle, but that was an impressive showcase of skill and control for Bakugan. So very, very, just amazing, really, just a wow moment of the night here. Last race of round 2, it's going to be Northern Nightmare versus Dragon. Dragon was the last, racing winner last time in Detroit, so he's looking to make it to the semifinals and continue and hopefully take another racing win. Northern Nightmare, another truck, kind of slowing down this season, unfortunately, as he was the back-to-back Stadium Series winner for Season 1 and 2. But Northern Nightmare has the lead right now going into the final turn. Dragon is not going to be able to take a racing win here in San Diego. That's going to go to possibly Northern Nightmare. Oh, and they're both kind of a nice wheelie from Northern Nightmare. Dragon almost going into the stands. Luckily able to stop in time. There it is, a replay of Dragon, just an awkward landing, bicycling from one side to another. Then he just slams the brakes, hopes for the best, and stopping right before going into the crowd. So, very fortunate ending for Dragon. Here's Northern Nightmare, whether it was intentional or not, I don't know, showcasing his skills moves, a nice wheelie after concluding that race. So a bit of celebration, a bit of showcasing of what's to come in skills. This is the racing bracket after round 2. So, Monster Dalmatian, Alien Invasion, Gas Monkey Garage, and Northern Nightmare are your semifinalists. And look at that, the top 2 and the bottom 2 qualifiers are in the semifinals. You can't have it any other way than this. That's actually very incredible and surprising that it happened that way. So, Monster Dalmatian versus Alien Invasion right now. Wondering who is going to take the win and enter the finals first. Gonna have to wait and see. Alien Invasion is just gonna have to keep it really clean, as she's had her mistakes in racing in the past. Monster Dalmatian going a bit wide. I think he managed to stay within the line, so he should be good. Both having troubles around the berm area. This is the area where Dalmatian is making up some ground. Alien Invasion, I think, just got a penalty. She got a penalty, and she's not gonna cross the finish line, so the race is gonna go to Monster Dalmatian. Piece flipping over. Alien Invasion preventing herself from getting into the crowd. This is the replay of Monster Mutt Dalmatian after that awkward bounce at the finish line. So, up and over, lost the wheels, no big deal. He is the winner moving on to the final round, so our fastest qualifier is in the final race. Now it's time to see who's going to be the winner and who's going to be advancing to the second spot of the final round, as we have a rematch of the World Finals 2 semifinal race between Northern Nightmare and Gas Monkey Garage, where Gas Monkey was on top. Though we're going to have to wait and see. Northern Nightmare has been crazy fast in this lane, and so far they're hitting the halfway point. Northern Nightmare has a slight lead. Gas Monkey Garage on the berm right now. Northern Nightmare getting to the turn first, and it looks like Northern Nightmare is going to get his revenge over Ryan Hayward and Gas Monkey Garage and take the racing win. Gas Monkey flipping and cartwheeling after the end, but so is Northern Nightmare going into the crowd. And no, luckily standing, just landing on the container, not going into the crowd. We've had some crazy races here in San Diego. This is how Gas Monkey ended. He ended on the two side tires, which sent him cartwheeling and flipping over. He was able to land on all fours, lost the hood. We're going to check that out and make sure he's good to go. But Northern Nightmare finishing the race, and I guess he was just stuck in the throttle too much, got stuck in a bicycle, slammed the brakes. You can see that he hit the brakes, but it sent him up and over onto the container. Luckily, the barrier past the container caught the tailgate of the truck and sent him back over and just landing on the container. So luckily, he didn't make it into the crowd, and he's good to go, and everybody's safe. We'll go ahead and move on to the final round now, as this is the racing bracket. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, the fastest qualifier, versus Northern Nightmare, the second fastest qualifier here tonight. So Northern Nightmare has been crazy fast. He's been in the 24-second area. Monster Mutt Dalmatian hasn't touched that yet, except for in qualifying. So make your pick now. Who do you think is going to win? The fastest qualifier or the second fastest qualifier? We're going to have to wait and see. Northern Nightmare, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, it's going down now, waiting for a green light. And they're going to mash the throttle, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see and you'd like to see more Monster Jam content. It means a lot. Thank you guys so much. They're going pretty even into the first turn, and it's looking pretty good. Both kind of a hard landing. It looks like Dalmatian may have a slight lead. It's coming down to the final turn. It's going to be a close one. No, Dalmatian is ahead of Northern Nightmare. He's going to get to the finish first. On Boji, your fastest qualifier is now your racing winner here in San Diego, getting his first racing win of the season, and those 12 crucial points that are going to launch him further in the leaderboards. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Don't forget to use code PROJECTROUTEROUT to receive 10% off of your W Energy order. This is your racing bracket after it's all said and done. Your fastest qualifier of San Diego is now your racing winner. This is the event champion leaderboards after racing. On Boji still on top with 35 points, and it's looking pretty serious now. He may be the event champion at the end of all this. We're going to have to wait and see. Dragon still on top now with 108. Bakugan in second with 106. Dalmatian in third with 104. He is slowly creeping up. This is getting interesting. 2 more competitions left here in San Diego to see what the outcome is going to be. Next event will be skills. So be sure to be here and see who's going to take the skills win and how the racing bracket, or excuse me, the leaderboards is going to change. Huge shout out to my Patreons, April Summers, D Toad, and Julian Peacock. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all in skills.